As the arrows pierced the Ogor's flesh, the metal heads barely piercing its thick skin, it continued laughing, its bellows mocking the elves trying to take it down. In its hands, it held an unfortunate Eternal Guard, his body now nothing more than a ragged pile of broken bones and raw meat as the ogre used them as a maul, bashing the shields of the flesh weapon's former comrades. This, the Wayfinder Ildrian thought to himself, was not going to plan. When his scouts had first entered these caverns 2 days ago, they had stated it was clear of threats, the only signs of life being the odd beetle and the green moss that coated the walls and ceiling. More importantly, it was a focal point for several ley lines, the very air brimming with energy. By all indications, it was the perfect place to lay down a waystone, a place they had been looking for since they started wandering this particularly hostile part of Gur. When the scouts guided the rest of his forces into the cavern, they had the misfortune of meeting an Ogor. For whatever reason, the creature had decided to make this cavern home. What made this worse was this was no simple Ogor. It was a Beastclaw Raider, a tribe of usually nomadic Ogors that brought with them a dangerous and magical winter wherever they roamed. Already, the presence of the Raider was having a natural effect on the cavern. The beetles and other insects were gone, most likely escaping to warmer parts of the cave system or eaten by the Raider when no meteor fare was available. The moss that coated the walls was becoming brown and brittle, its vitality being sucked away by the bitter cold that followed the Raider. Ildrian was tempted to call it a loss. The chance that this cavern was still suitable was small, if not non-existent. But this Ogor had already killed 2 of his warriors, and he could not let that lie. Ildrian raised up his bow and began to breathe, readying the arrow, learning the Ogor's patterns and determining when would be the best time to strike. The moment arriving, he let it fly. The arrow flew above the heads of the defending Eternal Guard and towards the Ogor, aiming for its head. The Ogor, its combat instinct sensing a threat, moved the corpse of the guard to block the blow, as Ildrian expected he would. The arrow easily passed through the body of the once proud elf, the flesh now tender from the Ogor's weapon craft, and into the Ogre's eye. It continued until it stopped at the thick skull at the back of the Ogre's head. The Ogre stood frozen for a few seconds, its body unable to process its death, before toppling back, the corpse falling to the stone floor. As the elves cheered and helped their wounded, Ildrian worried. The place was tainted by cold. The food and heat that would be needed for life to flourish here was gone. As he put his head in his hands and thought of where else in this ethereal forsaken place they could go, he heard the unmistakable sound of gas leaving the corpse of the Ogor, its thick, massive body still somehow digesting its last meal. Hearing this, Ildrian realized he had a disgusting and wonderful idea. Days later, if one were to look into the once empty cavern in a desolate region of Gur, they would find the stirrings of life. Budding grasses and small trees slowly stretching towards the cavern's exit. And in the center of that growing forest, you will find a truly strange sight. If you can survive the smell, you will see an Ogor corpse. And jutting halfway out of it, you will find a waystone, crammed into a gaping wound in the Ogor's still warm and nutritious, decomposing belly. In the Age of Myth, the elves of Ghyran were the residents and caretaker of Lady Alarielle's home. Worshipping the goddess and serving as her soldiers and emissaries, they enjoyed a communion with nature that few, if any, creatures can truly mimic. This peaceful partnership continued for millennia, until the Age of Chaos. When the god Nurgle laid his disease-crusted eyes upon the goddess's realm, it was the beginning of the end. Although they fought with all their worth, the elves could not stand the onslaught of evil. They were forced to flee, leaving their goddess and the Sylvaneth to their fate. In desperation, they fled to Azyr, to be safe inside the gates of Sigmar's realm. Still, although they were no longer within Alarielle's realm, they still felt part of the nature they once served. When the gates of Azyr were once again opened, they made it their mission to spread Alarielle's bounty and energy as they did in ages past, laying down waystones to enhance the magic of ancient ley lines, and spread vegetation to every realm, whether it be the already beautiful landscape of Azyr, to the inhospitable realm of the dead. Through this, they hope to push back the powers of chaos by strengthening the magical energies that bind the realms together. But perhaps there is a deeper reason for this mission, this urge to spread life and fight back chaos. It has been noted that although the Wanderers and the Sylvaneth will fight as one, the community they once shared seemed to be no longer present. Is it because the goddess still holds resentment for the elves leaving her to Nurgle? Sadly, if it was only that simple, perhaps then the elves could eventually be forgiven. No, the actions of the Wanderers only showed the goddess a truth that perhaps even she herself did not see. That as much as her former elven companions try to become a part of nature, they'll always be separate. That in the end, when it really matters, the elves won't look to protect nature, but themselves. To be a wanderer is to be on a quest to spread life to realms devastated by war. To wander lands for a goddess you adore, and a realm you may never truly be a part of again. Hey guys, this is Arvandis, and I want to say I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like these short stories / descriptions of various races in Age of Sigmar, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll keep doing it. Not only Age of Sigmar, perhaps other games that I have interest in. Anyway, thanks for listening, and see you next time.